Let's talk about something kind of strange. Something that happens when you finally just stop clinging. Not in a who cares, I give up kind of way, but in a quiet, really freeing way that unhooks you from all that invisible pressure, that fear, that need for constant control. Because, the wild truth is, most of the pain we feel isn't caused by what's happening to us, but by how tightly we're holding on. This ancient teaching just gets right to the heart of it all. I mean, think about the things you cling to. That specific job, a certain relationship, the identity you're trying so hard to protect. The effort is exhausting, isn't it? That's because you've decided they're essential for your survival. But what if letting go wasn't a weakness? What if it was actually wisdom? So let's get into the main problem that most of us face without even realizing it. We spend our days just clenching, right? Mentally gripping onto outcomes, people, and plans, just hoping that if we hold on tight enough, everything won't fall apart. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything you're supposed to, but you still feel anxious or completely stuck, this question is for you. And here's the paradox, right? Our very attempt to control life is often the source of our deepest struggles. It feels safer, but in reality, it's a powerful illusion. Okay, check this out. This really breaks down the two main ways we operate. On one side, you've got clinging, that white-knuckled grip, totally driven by the fear of what if. It's a state of nonstop pressure. But then on the other side, there's allowing. Now, this isn't about being passive. It's a deep trust that lets you move with the current of life, not against it. It's literally the difference between fighting the river and just flowing with it. And this metaphor, oh man, it's just perfect. It shows how clinging just defeats itself. The more you try to force things, to micromanage and control every little detail, the more you actually push away the very peace and outcomes you're so desperate for. It's a paradox you see everywhere once you start looking. So all of this leads us to this kind of mind-bending paradox. We're all taught that holding on is a sign of strength, of not giving up. But what if the real power, the real strength, lies in the wisdom of surrender? Okay, so a really key idea here is something called non-attachment. And look, it is so important to get this right. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop chaining your happiness to these rigid expectations you have. You don't own the moment. You're just here to experience it. That's real freedom. It's not apathy at all. This quote, it's just so stark and so true. It's not just a clever phrase. It's basically a survival guide. Life is this powerful current, right? You can either learn to flow with it, or you can resist and get dragged along anyway. The choice is always yours, but man, the outcome couldn't be more different. Here's another beautiful way to picture this. You don't get a kite to fly by yanking on the string with all your might, right? No, it soars when you release the tension just enough, allowing it to catch the wind. So often in life, what we force fails. And what we allow, well, that's what grows. So I want you to let this question really sink in. We're all so conditioned to see surrender as giving up, as failure. But what if it's the total opposite? What if it's the ultimate act of trust and strength? The one move that finally allows everything to fall into place? All right, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? This next part is all about the practical shift, about moving from the chaotic noise of overthinking to the calm clarity of awareness. It's about learning how to turn down the volume on all that noise inside our heads. You know that endless chatter in your head? The voice that just never seems to shut up? Well, in Buddhism, they have a great name for it, the monkey mind. It's that part of you that's just constantly jumping from branch to branch, grabbing at worries, fears, and doubts. And honestly, just giving it a name is so powerful. It helps you see it for what it is. It's not you, it's just a pattern, a habit. So how do we calm this monkey? Well, here's a super simple 4-step process. First, you just observe the thought. Don't fight it, don't judge it, just notice it's there. Then you breathe. Just one deep breath to anchor yourself right here in the present. Third, you ask a simple question. Is this thought actually helpful? Or is it just that old familiar habit kicking in? And finally, you release it. Let it drift away like a cloud in the sky. You don't fight it, you just let it pass on by. And that's the whole secret right there. We think we can solve our problems by thinking harder and harder, but that's like trying to see your reflection in muddy water by splashing it around. It just makes things worse. Real clarity, true wisdom, it shows up in the quiet moments, when you finally let all that stuff settle. Okay, so what actually happens when we start practicing this? What does a life look like when we release our grip and just allow things to unfold? Because this is where things start to get really good. This leads to such a massive shift in how you see yourself. When you stop identifying with the storm of your thoughts and feelings, you start to realize, wait a minute, I'm not the storm. I'm the mountain. You've been there all along, solid, grounded, totally unmoved by it all. And we can take that even one step deeper. The sky is never harmed or changed by the clouds or storms that pass through it. It just holds space for everything. That's you. You're this sky, the vast open awareness behind all your thoughts. The second you get that, you stop fighting the weather. You just let it pass. And that is peace. And this really brings it all home. So you see, surrender has nothing to do with giving up or failing. It's an active, intelligent alignment with reality. It's about saying yes to what's happening right now, exactly as it is. That's not weakness. That is absolute mastery. So I want to leave you with one final question to just sit with. Think about how much energy we spend trying to fix everything. Fixing ourselves, fixing other people, fixing every little situation. But what if your true power isn't in all that doing? What if it's just in being? What would happen if peace is simply what's left over when you finally stop chasing and just allow life to meet you right where you are?